Hello, in this video we will be talking about the stateless and stateful, these two terms in the architecture point of view, in the scaling, in the client service architecture. What is the meaning of stateful and stateless? You might have heard these two terms in the conversations, in the the titles like HTTP is stateless, and you have always wondered like what is stateless means here. So in the simple terms, every time a client who has some credentials, username and password, he want to get some data from the server. He want to get authenticated, like how the server knows like, yeah, this user what is claiming is indeed he's what it is claiming. So username and password is sent to the server, and server then get matched to the from the database, and that the request is authenticated. And to avoid the password sending over the internet again and again, server issue a token, a copy of token which is stored in the database and sent to the client, and tells the client that for the any future further request, you don't have to send me the username password, you just send me this token and I will know that yeah, this is you, and from the database I will get your remaining data and I will serve you whatever the request you want. But at database scales, everything in the system design related to the scale directly or indirectly. When database scales and we have something attached to the single database or single server, in scaling, how we will distribute that, because that certain user or certain client is dependent on this server to get authenticated and get the data. So what the solution of this thing? Because if you want to scale and if the load balancer send the request to the another server, then request will fail because client is sending the token, and request will fail because that server or that database do not have the record of that thing. And if you copy that record in the multiple database, then that will question the distributed behavior, because essentially we are distributing to get less data on the different server on the different database. So what was the solution? Solution was to introduce a stateless approach. Stateless means that we don't need to store anything in the server. So every request is completely new, but still clients get what it's want. So how it is solved? So in the stateless thing, the new kind of token which is known as JWT is introduced. We will go into depth of JWT in some other video. Essentially what happens is your credentials in the encrypted terms, in the secure terms, will be merged in a string and get back to the client on the first authentication. So first time you have to send the username password, then you get the token in the same stateful, but this time it is not being copied or saved on any database on any server. So every server has some algorithm to just verify that token is valid, and this token has the information of the user which is needed to get or to serve that client with whatever it's wanting. So using this, we have remove the dependency from the database or the server to having some kind of session. We say session is that it doesn't need any session or data to be stored on the database, and that token itself is a session. It can be expired in the future, it can be rechanged if clients want it. Of course it has some drawbacks, if token is lost within the expiry time, then what will happen, because the token is the key to access the server for that particular client. So that's the shortcomings are there, but all of cases are managed, because now most of the projects, most of the company, most of the products are using stateless architecture due to that same scaling problem. That's it from today. Let's unjargon, or let's talk about some other stuff in another video. Yeah, you can comment on the word or any term you struggle to understand. Okay, so I will try to explain in the comment, or try to make a new video to explain that.